I'm Kathy Izard. I'm author of The 100-Story Home. I'm a writer, speaker, and nonprofit consultant in Charlotte. I think my story probably started when I was 44 and I was looking for purpose in my life. I was a graphic designer, I was a mother of 4, and I really thought that what I was doing, designing brochures and being a graphic designer, was not what I was supposed to be doing with my life. And I ended up quitting my job and going to work for the Urban Ministry Center to help house homeless people and being in charge of a pilot program where we house people directly from street to home. And that became the basis of a book. So I was never intending to write a book or be an author and a speaker, but it was that work and kind of finding my own way home and finding purpose in that work that led to what I do today. I think the one story probably that comes out of my book, and the one that really follows me, when we were trying to raise money to eventually build an apartment building. So we were looking to raise $10 million. And there was one person who kept sending us dollars, and $10 one month, $8 another. We had no idea who was sending us this money, and it turned out to be the mother of one of the men who was homeless, who we ended up housing. And I think her story of just one person doing everything they could, whether it was $5, $8, $10, and how it mattered in the end and how it connected her to her son once again. I think that's the one story over the last 11 years that won't leave me. I originally wrote The 100-Story Home just to collect the stories of what had happened, from housing people directly from street to home, to this community coming together to raise $10 million to build an apartment building, and it changed the way we treated our homeless. And I didn't want those stories to be lost, and so I put them together in this book. But I think what I didn't realize was how much I loved writing, how I loved telling people's stories, and it's leading not only to now a children's version of that book, but I'm working on another nonfiction book as well. So I think all of this I never saw coming 10 years ago, but it definitely has led me on the path to not only be a writer and a speaker and an advocate for homelessness, but hopefully help people tell their own stories. The first time I worked with Interact was in 2014. I called Lou in a panic saying, oh my gosh, I've agreed to talk at this huge event. There was going to be almost 1,000 people. I had no idea what I was doing. I was panicked. I wasn't sleeping at night. And I came in with Lou, and she helped walk me through that presentation that I was going to do that day. I thought that was going to be one and done. I never thought I was going to talk again. And now I'm talking probably 3 times a week. And I've been back to Interact to help on presentations from small groups to larger groups, and they really were a lifesaver starting in 2014 and even today, teaching me on media training. I think if I could tell my younger self anything, it would be, you are capable of so much more than you would imagine. And I don't just mean that about myself. I think all of us, I think we underestimate what we're capable of doing. And if that's one thing I've learned over the last 11 years, we really can do anything, really anything, when we put our minds to it. And I also believe you can reinvent yourself at any time. You can change paths. You can take all that you've learned along the way and take it down a different path. So I wish I would have told my younger self that to believe in where you're going, even if you can't see all the way down the road.